Well, we are back, and yeah, feels weird. I'd say stuff about the game, but it doesn't feel that long ago since I talked about it because the preview went up so late. If you haven't seen it, there's 20 minutes to kick off. Always go and watch that if you're interested. Oh, please. We haven't done a watch along in a while. It's actually been a while since one of City's games has actually been on the telly. Funnily enough, because we keep getting 3 o'clock kickoffs, which is obviously less than ideal, but the one that isn't is an early kickoff. And again, I hate the early kickoffs, but last time I went on about an early kickoff, it was Arsenal, and we slapped them, so. Should I be as negative? Yes, I should. Tuchel's playing 8 defenders. I am well within my right to be, going, hold on. I'm not surprised that Pep's gone and picked out, 4 of the 5 creative players that we have, considering, again, Tuchel has decided to go full terrorism mode and play 8 defenders. He's lost Mason Mount and he's put in Kovacic, playing a flat midfield 3 pretty much, and his 5 that he normally plays with the 2 up front. Terrorism. Less said about the better, because I could go on about how it's crimes against the sport and all that, and undoubtedly it is. But again, we're going about that. So kick off. In terms of the City 11, 2 of the 3 injured out start, although only 2 of them were going to play. Laporte and Stones and Rodri are all fine, fit enough to play, which is obviously good. Nothing against Nathan Ake. Like him as a bloke. I just don't think he's good enough. I won't play him in a game like this, and Fernandinho had a stinker against Southampton, so I'm glad Rodri's back, but we're looking like we're going back to false 9 FC. I've put Jesus up front because I see that being the most likely, but he genuinely could be. Jesus could be on the right, and we could have one of the midfielders. It could be. It's going to change so much throughout the game. It'll be very, very fluid. So we'll see about that one. But we're not the only early kickoff. There's another one. United Villa, I believe. And I don't think it's on telly because it was moved. Well, that's the other early kickoff. So I'll keep up with that one as well. Currently sat 5th in the table. Chelsea top. Identical results to Liverpool as well, I think. In terms of scores as well. So score prediction that isn't 0-0. I said 1-1 for the preview. So I'm going to stick with that. I think, are we going to win? Hopefully. Do I think we will? Probably not. 8 defenders, they'll get a goal early on and it'll end up like 1-0 or something. But I've got hope that we will score. Man City till I die. Hi, subscribed. Well, thank you very much. We are on the road to 400 subscribers at the moment. Let me do a quick VAR check. VAR check in progress. 391. We are 9 away from 400. I know there's an international break coming up soon again for some godforsaken reason. We've got another one really, really soon to the other one that we've literally just had, which came really, really soon after the Euros, because that's a good idea, isn't it? But can we hit 400 before the next international break? We've got another couple of games in between. We've got Paris, we've got Liverpool. I don't actually know when the international break is. I just know it's soon. So maybe try and hit 400 before the next international break. I think that's an achievable goal. I think we can do that the way that we've been going recently. But thanks for subscribing. we do try to cover as many games as possible. We are doing a live stream, a live watch along of this one because it is on the telly. I can watch it. Currently showing highlights of Jack Grealish. There's Sterling missing a sitter, as per. As our big money marquee, English signing, there's Sterling missing another one. Our big money English signing has actually hit the ground running. And he's actually, playing football and playing good football. I know a certain other English hot prospect, big money signing hasn't hit the ground running and has been dropped for today. But, Grealish is Grealish. Creative numbers are up there with the best in Europe. De Bruyne in the side as well. We should not, even though they're playing 8 defenders, we should not struggle to create chances with the players that we have in the team. But, again, it's 8 defenders. It's not the chance creation, it's the chance conversion. Thoughts on the Sterling situation? Shite. He's just a bit shit, really, isn't he? There's not much more I could say apart from the fact that Sterling is genuinely just turned to mush again. He's just not a good fit at the moment, and he's got 2 years left on his contract. So I think you have to sell or hope that he somehow turns it around. But he's not going to turn it around because he can't get in the team because he's not good enough. Or not good enough at the moment, anyway. So move him on. We sign in Grealish. If we sell Sterling, we'll be on good terms. How am I supposed to word this? Yeah, I know. We replaced a foreign spot with Grealish, which is a homegrown spot, which means we can now afford to get rid of another homegrown player, bring in another foreign player should, we want to do so. So if we want to sign a striker that isn't English, we can, maybe ship off a homegrown player, like an English player like Sterling, and still be okay because we did bring in Jack Grealish. So we can afford to let him go, if we want to. Oh, he leaves Sancho alone. I'll leave him alone when he gets, a goal or an assist. I'm laughing while I can because I know you will come good eventually. You gotta laugh where you can. You gotta get it out now. Otherwise, this opportunity doesn't come round because in a few years you'll be going, he's quite good, isn't he? Edouard Mendy also fine. I know Mendy's been struggling with a hip injury recently, and it has been Kepa for the last couple of games. But he's back, which is, again, it's a big boost for Chelsea. Without Mason Mount, you see it on Twitter, advantage Chelsea. I don't think it is, considering they've put in an extra defensive player. But, both teams struggling a little bit with the injuries recently. Gundogan out for this one. He's not even on the bench. He didn't travel. He is out, presumably injured. Not that it really matters because I wouldn't have started him anyway, but he's a decent option to have on the bench if you want to try and control a game. If you're ahead, he's not a match winner though, not anymore. Thoughts on Laporte starting? Better than Nathan Ake. He's better than Nathan Ake. He's been pretty good this season. Although he has struggled a bit with injuries. John Stones has also struggled a little bit with injuries. Again, we thought we'd gone past this stage, but he's had a few muscle injuries himself. Precaution against Wickham and Leipzig. I'm glad that we've taken a chance. I think Pep said they were going to check on the day, as in today, whether they were able to play. So I think one of them will have, played. I would have been happy to see either. Obviously, more happy to see Laporte because he started the season and he started the season well. But you know, I'd be happy to see either one of them. Because they're better than Nathan Ake. That's plain and simple. Laporte, the best ball-playing centre-back in the world. Well, maybe. Best left-footed centre-back in the world, although there's not too much choice. There's the Chiellini, who won the Euros. We will go there. Although he's about 42, something like that. Both sides of Manchester have a really shit Dutchman who should have done better. Yeah. I mean, Nathan Ake's been injured, and when he's been in the team, he keeps making a mistake. Donny van der Bench, it's in the name. He just can't get off the bench unless it's Carabao. Love the Carabao over here. It's our trophy. Still believe that Donny van der Beek signing was just a crowd pleaser. Like, you would never. I don't think it was a signing that you necessarily wanted, but he was available for a relatively cheap price, and it would have been, you know, another signing, more money spent. It'd look better, you know, on the owners, quite possibly. Otherwise, why would he be there? You know, the manager. If Ollie's gone out and he's picked the sign, he's gone to the board, the owners, whoever, and said, yeah, get me Van der Beek, and he hasn't used him, then that's even more fraudulence from an already fraudulent man. I don't know what I'm watching on B2 Sport here, showing Roblox. There's an advert that had Roblox on it. Just when is it gonna end? I think Donny was signed under the assumption that Pogba would have left. Possibly. I mean, he still might leave, which might open up a door. But then you've got, you know, Greenwood, Sancho, Rashford. You've even got Martial, who, you know, he will be the best player in the world. So even if Pogba goes, he still probably doesn't get into the team. Like, surely you start him in that 2. Because obviously he's played 4-2-3-1. Surely you start him next to, like... I know you don't have a competent defensive midfielder because you're playing Fred. But surely you start him next to... Like, if you sign a defensive midfielder, surely you start him next to him. Imagine having your game shown on live TV. Couldn't be me. You are right, Trevor. We haven't had one in ages. We've had the Leipzig one because all the Champions League games are shown. But we genuinely haven't had a legal game. When was the last time we had a game that was actually... I'm gonna do another VAR check. Surely it's not Leicester. Oh, he's got tiny little grape-sized testicles, so it's McFred or die. Seems to be at the moment. I mean, I know McTominay's just come back off an injury, but he's straight back in the side. Arsenal. It's not Arsenal. Arsenal, because... Or was it? Leicester wasn't shown on telly, was it? Oh my God, we have had a game for ages. We didn't even have Wickham either. Oh, wow. Our last televised game was before the international break. I think it's well overdue that we get one on the telly. That is actually a shambles. We've had an international break and come back, and this is the first domestic game we've been able to watch legally. They're showing advertising PSG versus Montpellier. Obviously, PSG our next opponents, which terrifying because we're going to have to play Tuchel and his 8 defenders, and we're going to have to. I mean, we might not be playing Messi, but it's still Neymar and Mbappe. Although Neymar and Mbappe didn't really do much last time we played them, so. And then we've got Liverpool at Anfield in, I think, possibly the nastiest triple header we're going to have in a long, long time. Chelsea away, PSG away, and Liverpool away. It's disgusting. We'll beat them. Messi will play. Probably, yeah, because he's an alien. Gonna have to go and report on the United game, but good luck. Hope you draw. I'd take a draw. I know you don't hope that either team win because you want us to lose, so we drop more points, and you want Chelsea to lose, so they don't run away with the league. But I'd take a draw. Yeah, you are right. Fuck Villa. Fan base. I have nothing wrong with the football club. I don't really care. The fans during the summer were just shite. Unbearable. What is it? Showing like what? They're showing highlights from City and Chelsea, which I understand. Showing random people doing like tricks, like street flicks. What is this? High production value. What happens when you go to BT Sport? Football club seems sound. I have nothing wrong with Villa as a football club. Just the fans. Wish Sam Lee put that bet on. I must have missed that. About Green. I know we got the trim. There's another. There's 2 inflatable Champions League trophies. Surprised we didn't see them, but both being held by children, so the parents have definitely forced it. Look at what Simon Bodjowski tweeted. What did he tweet? That's Stuart Brennan. Let me go and see what he tweeted. Just before kickoff in the tunnel. Ruben Diaz as captain. There's Michael Oliver. Oh dear. This should be good. Updates with Stuart Brennan, man. Manchester Evening News have been having an absolute shit. Like, I don't know how long this has been going on for, because I don't normally check on the account. But they've been having an absolute stinker. A Villa fan bet him that Grealish would stay and lose had to donate 1k to charity, and then your man tried upping it. Why would you bet someone with a release clause would stay? Why? Stupid. Michael Olive shite. No, I mean the Bojo one. This. Yeah, but you said Simon Baldowski. Stuart Brennan. We have Boris Johnson's sister sitting in a couple rows in front of us. Anyone got a message to pass to her brother? I think it's beyond messages. He probably won't listen. I saw something about Kermit the Frog the other day, and I've never been the same since. Inspirational. Yeah, you got the wrong account. You got the wrong. There he is. There's Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel, the terrorist. Look at the players he has on the bench. He has Havertz, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Loftus bum cheek, Saul, And Sal's a defensive player, but you get what I mean. He's got Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, and Havertz on the bench, and he opted to play Mateo Kovacic up the Muppet analogy blues. Yeah, but I don't want my Prime Minister to be using Muppet analogies when he's giving some sort of speech somewhere. I don't know. I don't pay attention. All I heard was some Kermit the Frog quote tweets, and I didn't listen to it. So I could be wrong, but... You could make a song about Tuchel the terrorist to the same tune as Mr. Hackney. It's actually disgraceful how much of a terrorist he is. He's also playing fullbacks at centre-back, although Azpilicueta was kind of a centre-back. Let it slide. This ain't FIFA 21. If it was FIFA 22 and he was a fullback, then shit. Apparently they changed that, but no, it's FIFA. Can we stop the shine? That was the title of the preview. Can we stop the shine? Possibly. It's been stopped before. Sort of. There he is again, Thomas Tuchel in his cap, with the most expensive goalkeeper of all time sat on the bench behind him. And there's Pep. Who's next to Pep? Lilo. SP's a centre-half. Well, he's a centre-half when they play a 3, because... Well, actually, no. Tuchel likes to play him at right wing-back because he's defensive. So it is like a proper 5 when he plays. Foden is kicking off here, which could mean he's actually up front playing as a false 9. Who knows? I don't know. Pep probably doesn't even know. There's the beer bellies. Oi, oi. Fair play to the travelling fans. They've decided to actually turn up. I meant on FIFA. He is this year, actually. Yeah, that's only because he played at centre-half since Thomas Tuchel, the terrorist, came in. But they're taking the knee here. Marcus Alonso is standing. Obviously, he said in his words, it is losing meaning, and he will opt to stand instead. But we're off. We got the possession first. Mateo Kovacic playing the most advanced midfielder. Saying that, and N'Golo Kante is higher up than him, is genuinely a flat 3. Oh my god. I must go to work. Love you all. Best of luck. Surprised you stayed for this long. Stephen Manaman, Darren Fletcher, and Glenn Hoddle on the commentary. 3-man commentary. Stephen Manaman, though. At least I don't have to hear it. But first sight of anything was Foden running down the right channel. But if I look at the way we're lining up, Jesus is on the right and Foden is through the middle. So it looks like we are going for a false 9. A more false 9 approach. Here's Gabriel Bumzus. He almost lost the ball. His first touch can be awful at times. Here's Jack Grealish. And I think a goal kick for Chelsea. Yeah, he scuffs the cross. A goal kick to Chelsea. It's a bright start, but how long would this last? This is what I don't like. The press is really high. Kyle Walker's pressing at right wing. But, needs must. This is the way they play. Our press has been... The last time I said a team's press has been decent, it was the first 10 minutes of the Arsenal game. And, again, they ended up conceding 5. And the press only lasted for 10 minutes. But early on, we have like 4 players around the ball. We've won the ball really early on. We've barely allowed them to get a touch. I know we're only 2 minutes in, but I don't even think they've got out their half yet. Although saying that, they were more than likely going to stay in their own half for 80 minutes anyway. Bumsus, cross, headed over by Dave, as they call him, Azpilicueta. And we have our first corner. First corner of the game. Will probably amount to nothing, but Foden is on the corner. Things you'd love to see. Crossed in. And is Jesus going to keep that in? He is, or he should. Did. Christensen does well. Bernardo in a strength battle against Lukaku. He actually wins it. And Chelsea get a throw in. Somehow he won that. I think Lukaku was actually putting in too much of a fight. It was Lukaku against Laporte from that corner, which is interesting to see. They've put Lukaku on Laporte instead of someone like Rudiger or Christensen. But again, pressing really well. We've forced another, not mistake, but we've forced Chelsea to kick it out of play, although it has come off a City player, so they will have a throw-in, and Azpilicueta has cleared it straight back to us. They have won it back, but again, they're counting their own penalty area. They're just hoofing it. And we've won the ball back again. I like what I'm seeing so far, but can we keep this up for 90 minutes is the question. Couple of awful touches in there. Rodri does well to win it back. Otherwise, Werner will be running at the back two alongside Lukaku, which is always the concern, the counter. Reece James has just gone over Azpilicueta. As there was a free ball to Grealish, and he kind of backs off because he knows he's not going there. But Grealish pushes Reece James into Azpilicueta, and Reece James goes over the top of him as he's shielding the ball out of play for another Chelsea goal kick. As Edouard Mendy opts against playing it short and opts to just boot it towards Lukaku so they can actually get out of their half. Lukaku wins the header against Laporte, but Diaz wins the second ball. But this is the first bit of pressure Chelsea have put on in terms of pressing, and they have immediately eased off as it's been more than 10 seconds. Seems like they're more than happy for us to just keep the ball at the back. They don't really care. Jesus down the right again against Marcos Alonso. Low cross in. It goes through, but it's away by Christensen, I believe. I should do football commentary. Jesus has gone down, but it was a fair challenge by Rudiger. I think it's a corner. It was a harsh challenge, a very rough one, but he did win the ball. So no complaints from me. Yeah, he's gone to kick the ball, and I think he's kicked Rudiger, who's gone in for the sliding tackle. Fair challenge. It was a great tackle, really, but Jesus is all right. He's going to carry on. We've got another corner here. Whipped in, and it's straight to Edouard Mendy. Way too close to him. And Chelsea have a free kick here. He tries to roll it out to Marcos Alonso, who's in space, and he immediately has two players, one in front, one in behind, trying to win the ball. Werner here down the right. Tries to lay it off to Kante. Cancelo, quickest to react. Kante just doesn't think there's a man coming. Diaz gets it away. Jesus is there. Rudiger's pressing really high. Chelsea now getting their press on, but again, ends up with Chelsea around their penalty area. We've won it back here, just inside the Chelsea half in the centre. And this could be a real slow burner in terms of goals. And Kyle Walker kicks it out for a Chelsea goal kick. Trying to play the same ball that he played about 3 times against Norwich. No one was in the end of it. Jesus not on the same wavelength, evidently. A decent start here, but really with the pressure that we put on early on, we needed to capitalise and try and get a goal. Force Chelsea to actually attack us. It's no good saying we've played all right and we've put on this pressure and we've done well if we don't capitalise on it, because Chelsea could easily get 1 chance, 1 goal. Chelsea have the ball just inside their own half. I think it's a City throw in here. Or a free kick. City free kick. Again, Chelsea holding off from pressing as we're in our own half. Only deciding to press when we get into their half. Reece James is currently down injured. Might have got his ankle, might have rolled his ankle. He rolled his ankle a little bit there because Grealish went down. Grealish went down trying to win a free kick. Referee said no foul. There was contact, but no foul, and he got caught. His foot got caught a little bit underneath. Grealish, as he was falling, and he rolled it a little bit. He should be fine. The game's paused. Chelsea medical team are on the pitch. And BT Sport currently advertising the Paris game. Not the Montpellier one, though. The Champions League one. Big one. As well as, I think there was a Juventus game and Man United Everton next week. Early kickoff. And then Fury Wilder, of course, because pay-per-view. Reece James is up, walking, and fine. Drop ball to City, and we immediately go back and recycle the ball. Not a lot to say apart from good early on in limiting Chelsea, but nothing to write home about going forward. Pretty poor. We haven't created anything clear cut. Jesus whipped in a good cross early on. Lack of a striker though again, because I was just able to clear it. Really just lurking at the back post, but Foden was penalty area almost, like penalty spot. But no one really there to capitalise. Apart from that, we've had a couple corners. Both have come to absolutely nothing. Oh. We need to create some chance, some opportunity. That was always going to be the worry against Chelsea, was not how well we play, because, you know, even though we have lost, we've still played pretty well, apart from getting chances and putting them away. We haven't had a chance. We've been the better team, but we haven't had a chance. We know what we're like at the moment with scoring. We know what Chelsea are like at the moment with scoring. So they haven't had an attack yet, but the second they do, they genuinely could score. With us, it's like we need a few. You know, try and get a goal. I mean, we could score in the one attempt, but more than likely, we will need a few attempts to score. But Jesus down the right. We're going down the right a lot. We haven't really used Grealish down the left. Going down the right is puzzling. I know Marcus Alonso is there, but Rudiger's currently playing down the left. Which I find odd that we decide to go down the right. With Rudiger there. Jesus does well to win the ball back. Gone down the left this time. Although I can understand not going down the left. They do have Azpilicueta and Reece James, and then N'Golo Kante is residing sort of in front and in between them. So I can obviously understand, although it'd be nice to switch it up from time to time, as we've gone backwards and gone straight back to our right hand side. Cancelo, De Bruyne, cut back to no one. If he squares, there's two people waiting for him to square it across, Foden and Jesus, and he cuts it back. And Bernardo is slightly behind. That's the first like clear-cut chance we've had, and here come Chelsea on the break. Werner squares it to Lukaku on that instance, and he doesn't get connected with the ball, and City have got it back, but that's danger signs. Danger signs there. We are, you know, we're in the Chelsea penalty area. Cut back, really good chance, just no one there on the end of it. And then as soon as that happens, in you know, the same turnover of play, Chelsea have gone up the other end and almost scored. This is why we need to take the opportunities, because if we don't take them, they'll just punt it up the other end and they'll probably pop one in. We don't, you know, it's not necessarily about taking chances for the sake of we're probably not going to have many, although that is the case. We need to take the chances so they don't just, you know, lump it to Lukaku and there they are on the break. Werner is onside, and the goal would have counted should it have gone in the back of the net. But again, Werner squares it, and Cancelo does really well there to put his body in the way and stop Lukaku getting any sort of clean contact on the ball. Edouard Mendy punts it straight to Rodri, although Jesus just gives it straight back, trying to lay it off. And so you have the ball again. Foden is offside, or judged to be offside. I can't really tell. I mean, he is offside, but I couldn't have told you till the replay because the camera didn't cover where he was. Pep in his Manchester gear, because he always wears the club merchandise. Which is odd because some of it's awful. Rudiger going on a run forward. Werner down the left again. He cuts inside. Deflected off Walker and a corner. Is Werner running at Diaz? It's deflected off Diaz and then Walker. Good defending there. And it's out for a corner. This is where we're going to struggle, those set pieces. You know, they've got 3 centre-halves in this one. Marcus Alonso can really whip one in, and obviously they do have Lukaku, so we're going to have to be careful. Rodri gets it away because it went into Timo Werner. I don't know why it went into Werner. It's an odd decision with the players that they have. I think the City players are complaining about something. I think it's the Rodri 50-50 where Rudiger does, you know, what Kane normally does and backs into his opponent when he's jumping up. Thankfully, nothing happened, but again, it's something that I always hate when players do it. I know it's smart because it's, you know, it's not a foul unless they go down, but you can easily injure someone like that on the way down. City have another corner. Opportunity to take this one short, which is Kevin De Bruyne. He whips it in instead. Too close to Edouard Mendy again. That's another poor corner. Talking Barca, hi, big up. Yeah. How are you feeling about Koeman? How are you feeling about big old Ronald? Job under threat, club in debt, can't win a game to save your life, could genuinely end up in the Europa League because you might not get through your Champions League group. You definitely won't top it, that's been and gone. But I don't know how to feel about Koeman. I don't think he's necessarily a great manager. He's done okay/good things elsewhere. He's not Barcelona level now, is he? He's not a Pep Guardiola or a... No, he's not the best in class, one of the biggest football clubs in the world. Koeman out. Mate, honestly, I'm not surprised. I tend to agree. He's not Barcelona level. He also keeps getting himself sent off. Never mind the players and the players not performing and getting sent off. Koeman keeps getting himself sent off. Xavi Hernandez in Laporta will appoint him and it'll be a big success. I think Xavi will be a success. If Xavi goes to Barcelona, I'll actually, you know, decide to maybe watch them in the Champions League. Because I've seen what he's done in the, I think it's the Saudi League, and he's done well with the players he's got there. You can see an identity, a style of play. He's got the best out of the squad. I think it'd be obviously it'd be more towards the future. It definitely wouldn't be a win now philosophy if you get him in, because he's very much unproven at, you know, a high level. Laporta took risks with Pep in 2009. He did. He promoted him from the B team. You know, sometimes you do need to take risks in football. A lot of the time it doesn't work. But at the moment, what you've got now isn't working. So you've tried the safe option. You tried the Valverde guy who done decent at another club. Then you tried Quique Setien, who did decent at another club, and you try Ronald Koeman, who's done decent at various clubs. Did decent with the national team as well. I think he was the guy who got him back in competitions. I think, but I think right now you just need to take a risk with maybe someone lesser experienced who knows the club a bit more. Because right now the experienced guy that you're going with right now isn't working. So apparently Koeman will be sacked in the international. Look, I know you mean break there. Oh yeah, I think it'd be not stupid but unwise to sack him right now, considering you'll have a Champions League game coming up. Still got league games to prepare for. The international break isn't that far away. I I think one loss could do. If he loses in the Champions League, if he loses that other group stage game, which he very well could do, you never know with the way the team's playing. If he loses that Champions League game, he'll be gone because there's a genuine threat that they could exit the competition for the knockout stage and be in the Europa League. The Porter has two options. It's Roberto Martinez or Xavi. Roberto Martinez is just a glorified Ronald Koeman. He's done well with Belgium, but have you seen the talent? Koeman did well with the Netherlands, but again, you know, just flopped. If I had the choice, I'd pick Xavi over Roberto Martinez. You know, because you keep going for experience, and you know, the more experienced managers in Koeman, Setien, you went for Valverde. You keep going for this sort of. They've been there, lower level, been there, done that. They've done well. We'll get them in because they know what they're doing, right? Now it's time where you go for the unknown and you see what happens. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. At least you've tried it. It's a bit like clubs nowadays. Like Juventus tried it. Juventus lost Allegri, and they got Sarri in, who's another experienced manager. I think he won. I think he did win. Did he win the league? I think he did. But then they sacked him because they were unsure about him. They got someone in who was inexperienced to try and be there a bit longer term. An ex-player. It didn't work, and they got rid of him. So basically, Laporta and Jordi Cruyff want Martinez. I have seen that, yeah. But I'm playing want Xavi. Again, I'd go with Xavi because I think you just need to try something different. I think it's the best thing to try something different. Try the inexperienced, former manager that you have had. Try it. Why wouldn't you try it? No harm in trying. No harm in trying whatsoever. Change the background. There we go. Yeah, no harm in trying whatsoever. I want Xavi. Yeah, I think it's the right decision if you go for Xavi. If you can get him, I think one day he will end up manager of Barcelona. Because I think that's where his head's at. I just don't know whether he thinks now is the right time. You are right, winners. I am just on my own. The available man. City with another corner. Let's talk about the City game for a little bit now. City have another corner. Diaz at the front post. He wins it. I don't think he wins it, but puts pressure on Edouard Mendy. Yeah, Edouard Mendy gets a fist to it. Diaz flying in at the near post. City have the ball again after a throw-in. This is now the Joe Show. You're going to see me more often, Renners, on my own, actually. Not just in terms of live streams, but in terms of just videos as well. You're probably going to see me on my own a bit as well. That is the explanation as to why we have missed a few games so far this season. We're trying to work things out. Busy schedules. I think we've got something sorted though, so we shouldn't miss a game unless no one is available. I think we've got it sorted now. It just means you're going to have to see me on my own more often. Reece James is down again. I don't know whether he's just tying his shoelaces or whether he's actually done, but he went down injured 10 minutes ago. Thiago Silva is warming up, which means Azpilicueta will go to right back and they'll bring on a centre-back for a wing-back, which is even more terrorism. Guardiola, I'd say he looks livid, but he always looks livid when he talks to players because he's shouting, his veins popping out his head and all this. But he's having a chat with Bernardo Silva, Gabriel Jesus and Kyle Walker, the right-hand side. Midfield. Like in 2008, Roberto Martinez is the Mourinho pick and Xavi is the Pep pick. Choose wisely. Yeah. Just go for the inexperience. It didn't work out too bad last time. If you're going to go for experience, go for someone who... There's Mason Mount in the background. If you're going to go for experience, go for someone who, like, set on to work. Like, if you're going to go for experience, at least make it a Pep, which probably unrealistic. Luis Enrique, probably unrealistic. More realistic than Pep, mind. Don't go for a Roberto Martinez. Yeah, he's got the #1 ranked nation in the world, which, by the way, Belgium should not be the #1 ranked team in the world. #1 ranked nation in the world. They shouldn't be. And the fact that they are, I don't know how they are. They haven't won anything. If I was City, I would let Chelsea have the ball and let them attack us with their 8 defenders. Dangerous game to play, though, Renners. Reece James coming off for Thiago Silva. That is my FPL in the absolute bin. Oh, Christ. He got sent off and I kept him in. I'm going to transfer him out for another Chelsea defender. I'm going to have to. He's injured. But Thiago Silva coming on means they're going even more defensive with their 8 defenders. Shock horror. I hope we appoint Xavi. Roberto Martinez apparently fits the Cruyff way, but Conte doesn't. No. If you're going Conte, I don't think Conte will come Barcelona, because Conte, as a manager at the moment, Conte wants a win-now sort of project where he can come in, he can spend a bit of money, and he can win that season, and then win again, and then when he's not winning, he'll go. That's what he is. He is very much what Mourinho is at the moment. I know he's gone to Roma, who, you know, aren't in with the best shot of winning anything, but it's what Spurs tried to do. They got in that experienced guy who's just win now or win relatively soon, and then think about the future later once they've actually got a trophy, which didn't work. But it's Spurs, so I don't know what you expect. Conte is similar. Doesn't play the best football, but he'll do what he did with Inter. He'll come in, maybe stay for 3 seasons, win something, and then when it's not working or it's not going his way, he'll leave. Ten Hag I want, but he won't come. Ten Hag would be another good one, because although he's got a bit of experience in Ajax, it's not, he's not, I know. He is more experienced than most, but he's still not the sort of Roberto Martinez, multiple jobs, multiple different, like, national team, club football, or Koeman, the same thing, club football, international football. Like, Ten Hag would be a good one, because he plays good football. He'd fit in with this Barcelona philosophy of, playing, having a style of play. If I'm just to go off of, saying Pep leaves at the end of his contract next year, he's got this season and next season, and then I think it runs out again. If he doesn't re-sign and he does decide to leave, Ten Hag could be one of my choices to replace him as a City manager. I rate him as a manager. Just thinking who else is out there. There's not really too many out there. I think Ten Hag is the standout one. I would have gone for Nagelsmann, but he's gone to Bayern. Brian on the edge of the box, blocked shot. Walker's in the box. Rudiger gets it away. If you had the choice of Roberto Martinez or Ronald Koeman, who would you pick? I'd pick Roberto Martinez over Ronald Koeman, for sure. But if I had the choice of Roberto Martinez or Xavi, I'd probably pick Xavi. Yeah. Xavi plays tiki-taka. He does. He plays good football. I've seen some of it in that. Only highlights, to be fair, but I've seen some of it, and I know he's already won something in wherever he's managing. So I don't think it'd be a bad appointment. That I think it's probably the best you can do right now with what's available, unless you wait another year and try and convince Pep to not sign an extension at City and come back to Barca. Although I think he said he wants to, when he leaves City, he wants to have like another sabbatical where he takes another year out of management and he comes back, whether it be international. He said he wants to manage an international team at some point as well. So realistically, you're going to have to wait another couple of years if you want Pep back, unless you can convince him somehow to come and save your club. Chances of Xavi being Ronald Koeman's replacement are increasing. He seems to be on Joan Laporta's priority and favourite to be the next manager. You never know with Barcelona, they could do a complete U-turn. That's breaking news, yeah? Is that breaking news? Where have you seen that one? I ain't seen that one. And I follow big old Rashad Rahman, formerly of Hagrid. Okay, I know I don't have his notifications on, so I won't know, but Messi saga was an interesting one, wasn't it? City come forward here with Grealish, gives it to Rodri, shoots, deflected from Rudiger and over the bar. That was on target from Rodri from like 25 yards. It seems to be cracking a few more of those recently. I've liked Rodri so far in this game. Another decent opportunity. He's got an angle to shoot. It looks like it's heading top corner. It could have been saved because he was a bit far out and it wasn't like proper top corner. But another corner comes off Rudiger. Another corner, back post, cleared off the line, I think. Foden cut back, cleared by Jorginho. Another corner. This is a good sustained pressure here from City. But we need to try and capitalise. Diaz with the header blocked by Jorginho. I don't think it was going in, but he's just inside the 6-yard box. Foden cut back towards Jesus and Jorginho again gets it behind for another corner. Whipped in. Mendy opts to punch it instead of catch it. There was a lot of bodies, so I think it was probably the right decision. Bernardo crosses it in, away by Jorginho. Not enough on the cross. City have immediately won it back. This Chelsea defence is straight terrorism. It is. Welcome, Mr. Murray. Glad you can make an appearance. I know you're very busy at the moment, but Reece James has gone off injured and they've brought on Thiago Silva. So they've somehow managed to go from 8 defenders to more defensive with 8 defenders. And I don't know how. They couldn't get more defensive unless they took off Werner for someone. Laporta wants Haaland and Pogba next season, apparently. Yeah, well, I know people who want many things. Unfortunately, they can't all happen. If you signed Erling Haaland, your club, I know it's in debt, but your club would no longer exist. They'd go bust with the amount of money Real want. Because they wouldn't be able to afford his transfer fee, or his wages, or his signing fee, or his agent's fee, or his dad's fee. Same with Pogba. It'll be free, but you won't be able to afford his wages or his agent's fee or anything like that. Go broke. You need to reduce your debt before you can do any big signings. You're going to have to trust that youth academy you've got. Which is normally pretty good, so you'll probably be fine. Yeah, but Raiola and Laporta has an excellent relationship. Keep that in mind. Yeah, but money talks. Raiola, even though he might have a good relationship, but the man is money. Money. More money. You'll probably end up finding a way to do it because you are Barcelona and all, and they normally do find a way, but you shouldn't be able to with the amount of debt you've got. We saved a lot of wages in Griezmann and Messi. You did, but you're still a billion in debt. Like those wages, what might cover 150 million a year less than what you were spending, but you're still spending with decreased revenue. No, they have an exceptional relationship according to Raiola. Are you really going to disregard the GOAT Martin Braithwaite and sign Haaland? I'm joking, of course, like anyone would. I don't know. I can't see, like, obviously Mbappe's going to go to Madrid and Haaland's got his release clause. So I could possibly see Haaland I think Pogba would rather go Madrid or return to Juventus, although Juventus is shocking, so I don't think he'd do that, but I think he'd rather go Madrid. Although saying that, rumours of Pogba signing a contract extension at United, with the way things are going, obviously Ronaldo turning up there, so you just never know what's going to happen. City coming forward again. Getting one before half-time would be nice. Crossing by Cancelo, away by Thiago Silva. Away by Marcos Alonso now, because it was headed on by Bernardo Silva. Haaland versus Mbappe, yeah. Well, with the loss of Ronaldo a few years ago and now Messi leaving, who's your marquee player in the league? If you think about it, De Bruyne over the bar. He caught it well, just over the bar too. If you think about it, your two most marketable players for the last, I don't even know how long, like ages, have both gone now. Your most marketable player in that league, what, Suarez, Griezmann, because Ramos has gone as well. Benzema, maybe. Like, you don't really have anyone who's like Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Mbappe. So it makes logical sense for the league to go, yeah, well, we'll get Mbappe and Haaland because they'll be the marketable players that we've been missing and they'll stay for like 10 years because they're really young. But I don't see both of them moving because I don't see Barca being able to afford it. You lot should have signed Kane in the summer. Yeah, we should have, but we just basically got left on red by Levy and put in a shit bid and decided not to put in another one. Depay or Ansu Fati, in terms of Barca, yeah, in terms of the league, probably up there. There's not much. In the Chelsea possession now, Rudiger playing as a flying inverted left back. British does well to keep it in, and City try and come away. De Bruyne is chopped down by Jorginho, and we've got a free kick just inside our half. We've got another 5 or so minutes before we go in for half time. Looking like it's going to end 0-0 this half. Both teams with a couple of chances each. City with the majority of the ball, as always. Nothing to shout home about for either team, really. City have obviously had the better of it, but that's because they've had more of the ball. I think Laporta has something big planned for 2022. Possibly. Early crossing, I think, from Cancelo to De Bruyne, just a little bit too quick or overhit. De Bruyne can't stretch to get there quick enough, so that attack ends. Rodri's won it back off Kante. Foden dinked towards Jesus, chested down on his left foot, straight into the crowd because he can't shoot. And that about sums up the half, really. He's done well to control it and get in that position where he's chested it down, he's found some space, but he's hit it on his left and it's gone straight into the crowd. That is poor. That is very poor. That is why he's just not a number 9, isn't it? I think it comes off his shin. What is that? What is that? In a game where you're going to get like 5 chances, you're going to need to take some. 0 shots on target for each team. We've had 6 attempts, they've had 1. The Lukaku one wouldn't account because he didn't connect, but it was a good chance for them that they did have. But that's piss poor from Gabriel Jesus. He should be getting it at least on target. Minimum on target. Whether you score or not is a different question, but minimum on target, that is poor. It's very poor. tweet from Sam Lee kind of sums up the game at the moment. Chelsea can't get it out. Chelsea can't get out, but City can't get in. Chelsea can barely get out of their half at times. We can't even sit the ball away because... who do you think is winning the league? Probably this Chelsea team, because this is exactly what they do to teams. They don't allow them to get too many clear-cut opportunities, and then they will create one or two and stick one or two away. That's what they've done with the addition of Lukaku. Obviously tougher, like this is probably one of the toughest tests they'll have all season. Obviously it was a bit tougher at Anfield because they were away and they were down to 10 men for 45 minutes, which they shouldn't have been, but they were, and they managed to hold on for a draw. But this is what they do. They grind out results. They don't play good football, but they grind out results, which is, again, when you win the league, you just need the results. I like Tuchel. We should have appointed him. Tuchel is prime suspect of terrorist FC. Probably why he didn't get along well in Paris, because with the amount of money you spend, you have to play good football because the players they have, but he didn't really. He kept trying to play like 3 and 5. Same with Dortmund. Their fans want to see exciting football. They've had the Klopps over the years, and but with Chelsea, Abramovich doesn't care about the football. He's throw money at the problem, and if you win, you're good. If you don't, you're out. Next one, you win, you're good, and that's his philosophy. He'll throw money at the problem until it solves itself. How about your Liverpool United? United don't have the squad depth to go on and win the league. They have arguably a good enough team because they have Cristiano Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes. But they ultimately lack a competent defensive midfielder and overall squad depth, especially at the back. They have 4 defensive backups, which can ultimately derail a season. They're all right up front with the backups they have. Obviously, they're stacked up there, but that's not where titles are won. Titles are won in defence, which is what Chelsea are doing. Which is why they will probably win it. And in terms of Liverpool, they literally signed Kanate, and that was it. They need a big refresh. They need a big refresh up front because that front three isn't working as well as it usually is at the moment. So they need a big refresh up there. They need to do something. Poch isn't doing well at PSG. No, he's not, considering he has the greatest front four probably in the world. They have the squad depth, but the manager is us. No, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a average manager. He's not poor. He's average. He's average, and they do lack that squad depth. Have you seen their second back four that they have? Salah is a beast. Salah is a beast. He's probably the only player I'd keep out of that front three. Possibly Mane, although he's been poor for the last season and a half. Just joined the 100 club, I think, though. So what do I know? But I would do something in that Liverpool front three. They need a refresh. It's not working as well as it used to be. Look at our front three when we won those 2 back-to-back titles. Sterling, Sane, Aguero, literally none of them. 2 of them aren't at the club, and one of them is on the bench. And probably should leave because I don't think he's good enough. So Jota is great, but he's not going to win you a league title. Especially when he can miss from 2 yards. Put it over the bar from 2 yards. He's a good impact sub or rotation option to have. He shouldn't be starting for a league title winning side. Mane, Salah, Jota. That's what they're going to play. That's what they should play this season. I think Firmino definitely needs to go because I think he's 29. They need a refresh. They need someone who can... I know they've got Salah who scores goals, but they need someone a bit more consistent than Firmino with his defensive striker tactics. Yeah, but Jurgen Klopp is better than Pep. Oh, would you please? That's actually half time. That takes us to half time on that comment. Literally nothing. Literally nothing. A few chances. About it, really. I don't think we've seen a shot on target necessarily. Let me check the stats to see if there's been shots on target. In terms of XG at the moment, Chelsea with a solid 0.04, City with a solid 0.37. Brilliant. We love the XG, don't we? Jurgen Klopp is better than Pep. I still can't get over that comment. He's not better. Origi and Minamino have been playing well. Well, they're going to have to play well because when Mane and Salah leave for AFCON in that busy... I don't know exactly when it is, but this season AFCON is on. Like, we'll lose Mahrez, but that's fine because he doesn't start at the moment. Unless we've got injuries, of course, and then no, it's not fine. Panic stations. But they will lose Mane, Salah, Keita. I think Keita will... Obviously, he's African, but whether his team are competing or not, don't know. I don't keep up with it. I'm just assuming that all African players who are normally called up will get called up and will leave. So their front three is genuinely going to be Firmino, Jota, and Minamino. Or Origi. Something like that. Which is ultimately what will probably cause a slight downfall for them. Without Salah, can't see the goals. Yeah, in terms of stats, 66.7% possession for City. 9 corners. We've had 9 corners. Still just the 1 shot for Chelsea in the 6 for City, 0 on target. 3 blocked for City and 1 Chelsea block. Chelsea's only shot came in the box, and 50% of our shots came in the box, which tells you that, you know, we're not afraid to shoot if we see an opportunity. And Chelsea are very much trying to get a position where, you know, it will go in. Like, they're not going to chance shooting from the edge of the box. They're going to shoot if it will go in. Yeah, 3 outside the box for us, none for Chelsea. 9 tackles for City, 6 for Chelsea. Chelsea making 16 clearances. That is 4 times as many as City have made. City with 5 interceptions. I've noticed that a lot. We are pressing really well and winning the ball high up. Just under 2 times the amount of passes we have made. Chelsea with more long passes, obviously, but City with a higher pass accuracy, over 90%. With only 3 fouls for City and 5 for Chelsea. No cards at all. So United Villa also 0-0 in the other early kickoff. Those are the stats. Nothing to shout home about for either team. Very end to end, but, you know, Chelsea not really reaching the end, kind of getting halfway into our half and we're going backwards or losing it. Klopp has had less backing, plays decent football, works with tight budget. Fab Endo tier. I'm sick of this tight budget. Let me fact check Jurgen Klopp's sign. Let me go on transfer match real quick. The man does not have a tight budget. He might not spend as much as City, but that's kind of hard because we spend a lot. But the man gets backed and he buys players. Vino, Hendo, Thiago, Mina, Minamino, Jota. Talking about it like you support Liverpool, using the nicknames. But Big Virgin Hendo can score screamers. Hendo scored a screamer against Milan. He's not a Gerrard. Jurgen Klopp purchase players. Liverpool FC. He has signed 88 players for Liverpool since 2015. Bearing in mind he took over in October of that year, which says here 7th of October. So that is what, 6 years, roundabout. 6 years coming up. In 6 years, he's bought 88 players. That is, it's over 10. It's over 10 a season. Over 10 a season, like, although a lot of those are probably young players. Let me compare it to Pep, right? Let me compare Jurgen Klopp spent, Pep spent, right? Purchase players 116, significantly more. Jurgen Klopp made 18 with a fee, which means he's made a lot of free young signings. Pep Guardiola with 35, that is almost double, paid for. But this is the interesting thing I want to know. He spent 900 odd million, Pep. Jurgen Klopp 500. Very contrasting. Pep spent almost double. Yes, Pep gets backed more with big money signings. But what I want to know is the transfer fee per player. Per player, this is on average. Pep spends 26.3 or 26.4 if you round it up. Jurgen Klopp 26.6. Jurgen Klopp spends on average more per player. While he doesn't sign as many and doesn't spend as much, he still spends more per player. So the theory of him not being backed is rubbish. Van Dijk was 75 million, Alisson was over 50 million, Keita was over 50 million, Fabinho 40, Jota 40, Salah was almost 40, Mane was almost 40, Oxlade-Chamberlain was 35, Wijnaldum 25 and he got relegated. Thiago was 20 and he had 12 months left on his contract. Shaqiri, Tsimikas, both over 10. Like, he signs players. Not that he doesn't get backed. He probably should get backed more for what he's done, but rubbish theory. Rubbish theory. He does sign players and he does spend money, when he can. I hope we hire Arteta. Jesus Christ. Almighty have fallen. Joe, do you still rate Arteta? Jesus. How long have we got? Do I still rate him as a coach? Not as a manager. You can't rate a man as a manager if you can't manage. That's the whole point. He'd be a good assistant manager, which he was, and he'd be a good coach if he had, difference between coach and manager. A coach literally just works with the team. That is it. Like, first team coach works with the team. They leave the transfers to a director of football, technical director, whatever. They don't get involved. They have targets, but they don't do any of that. They don't get involved in any of that. It's first team coach. A manager does all of it, transfers and getting involved, all this, that, and the other, does everything. A coach literally just coaches the team. So he'd be a good coach, but right now at Arsenal, he's a manager who's doing everything, and the players don't respect him because he used to play with some of them and play against some of them. Barca are looking to appoint Roberto Martinez because Xavi does not want to take over now. So that was what I was saying, Marcelo, but Bachelor. That's what I was saying. I was saying, does he actually want to leave now or not? I would have guessed not, and it seems so. Check Barca Universal breaking news. Yeah. I think the only stumbling block with Xavi was, does he want to come now or does he want to come later? And that question's been answered. If you can't even tempt Xavi to leave the Qatari League or wherever he is, then Something wrong. Especially because he's a former Barca captain. Adverts for something. Trying to figure out what it is. You're not trying, I don't care. What are people saying? Let's have a look at even more stats. In terms of ball recoveries, Rodri has made 7 ball recoveries, which is 3 more than any player. Andres Christensen, João Cancelo, and then Merritt Laporte with 4. Aspilicueta with 3. Yeah, the 2 early kickoffs are both 0-0, so. And if you're a United fan and you've chosen to find a way to watch that because it's not being shown, then pain. Chelsea are kind of just being, I don't want to say carried because they do have good players, but it definitely helps them being so defensive. It's clear to see the gulf in quality in terms of player for player from City and Chelsea, but their system is just good, isn't it? I think Xavi only wants to join in the right moment. Well, if he's waiting for Barcelona to be a better football club so we can take over when it's maybe slightly easier than them being $1 billion in debt with no marquee player, then he'll be waiting a while. But if he's waiting to do something with the club he's currently at, then fair enough. If he's waiting to win something there, then so be it. Right. Chelsea. This is from the first half, the passes that they've made. There have been, what? Is this passes or average position? I think this is average. Is this average position? I think this is average position. Marcus Alonso is just left of the penalty area. They have got a back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then in front of that and to the right, they've got Werner near our penalty area, and they've got Lukaku just edge of the centre circle. That is terror. If that's average position, that is genuine terrorism. If it's passing, it's even worse because it means like Lukaku and Werner have had like 2 touches. He's just the best man-for-man defence we've seen in the Premier League from Chelsea. Helps when there's 5 of them, but still. There's about 8 of them. It's impossible. Impossible. We cannot afford it. I forgot to stop my timer and set my other one up. City actually very good from what I saw. Chelsea just holding Afghanistan hostage. You won't be wrong there. They've, again, they started with an 8 and they've gone somehow even more defensive with an injury. Tell you, Al Qaeda would be proud. It is criminal the way that they're playing, but it's working because it's frustrating the hell out of us. And they haven't really had a sniff. They've had 1 shot. They'll get another one. It'll be on target. It'll be in the back of the net. But the problem is with City, Gabriel Jesus probably should have scored. I know Ferran Torres is flicking through some spreadsheets. Tactical spreadsheets. So hopefully he'll make an appearance. Second half, About to kick off, Lukaku, and he has got us underway again at the bridge. City playing Terrorism FC once again. Back again. Back once again for the Renegade Master. His left foot is the only for standing on shooting, isn't it? I cannot believe he didn't even get it on target. Although saying that, if Sterling was in that position, which he probably wouldn't be because he's not, he probably would have missed the ball. He probably wouldn't have even connected with it, let alone put it in the crowd. He probably would have missed it. Kicked there. That's how we are. But if we start the way we carry on, I reckon be good for the most part. Again, it's just the conversion we need to get right. City building from the back again. Chelsea refusing to press until we step into their half. Mahrez for Jesus soon, please. Do we need more creativity? We can't score. Bring on Torres. Bring on Torres. You bring on someone who can put it away. Although Mahrez won't be a bad shout because he can score, but he can also create more than we are currently. Because I think that's what we need to do. When they play 8 defenders, we just need every single, creative player on the pitch. We've got Cancelo. We've got Grealish, De Bruyne, Foden. Got Bernardo on there. If we had Mahrez, we'd have every creative player on the pitch. I think that's just what we need. Surely we create enough to stick one away, right? Here's Grealish. Mahrez capable of cutting on that left peg and bending one from distance. He is, and we're probably going to need something special to beat this defence. This 8-man wall. They might as well just stand on the line. What is this? Grealish, cut back, Bernardo, De Bruyne, blocked by N'Golo Kante. Back again with De Bruyne, Grealish, Cancelo on the overlap. Grealish choose to bend one, and it's wide. Not enough whip on it. Yeah, we're going to need something to... Again, we're going to need something special to beat this. They genuinely might as well all just stand on the line. Chelsea should just put 7 or 8 players on the line with Edouard Mendy in front of them. So if he misses it, it's just going to hit one of them. And then just have Lukaku and Werner up front with someone kind of standing in the middle, so when they punt it, they've got someone to play him in behind. That's what they should do, because it'd probably make 0 difference to how they're playing now, and we'd be less likely to score, because obviously we could get past bodies on the line. Grealish is sick, he's going to make it happen today. We need someone. I think Werner's offside again. He lives offside. And he is offside. Would you look at that? Torres, Sterling and Stones warming up at the start of the second half. I cannot see Stones, because why would we go more defensive? Unless we score, of course. Chelsea's shirt sponsor should be an 8. Yeah, it shouldn't be a 3. I know they play a back 3, but that back 3 soon turns to 5 when they don't have the ball, and then 8 when the midfielders come back. We're whipped in towards Grealish, of all people, because we don't have a striker. Chelsea get it away, but City have got it immediately back again. I saw Werner pays rent offside. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he does. There's odd times where, he's in his own half, because Chelsea play so deep that he's, in his own half and he can't be offside. Werner's done well there, but City have won a throw-in. Laporte got put on his arse, but it don't matter because he stopped him. Azpilicueta riding Jack Grealish. What is he doing? Jesus Christ. Keep it PG, lads. It's early kickoff. I don't know what he's doing. Right, City are slowing the player down. Laying it around the back. He's a good-looking man, Grealish, but Azpilicueta needs to... I don't know what he's doing. He funny tried to ride him. I don't understand what he was actually trying to get out of that. Like, was he having a go at him for something? Like, what is he doing? What is the right back doing? Why is he there? See, this is what is concerning me right now, because we haven't started quite as good. Well, we're still getting most of the ball and winning it back pretty early on at times. We're not as good as we were in the first half, which is weird considering we are second half FC. We're not, as good. Whether we've just eased off to maybe try and open up the game a little bit, I don't know, but we're not as good. Another corner for City, won by João Cancelo with Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta on him because they've got enough men to double up. Up the Chelsea, we need to step up though. But you need to step up your line. You've been playing on the edge of your area for 50 minutes. It'll probably be a good idea to, maybe try and get an outlet rather than just every man on the line. No, don't shoot. Oh, what was that? On the swivel, yeah! Gabriel Jesus has scored! I think it was on his left as well. Oh! Get in! Oh, we needed that so much. Hopefully it'll open the game, but we needed that so much. Chelsea were just going to continue playing like this the whole game. We needed a goal. There'll obviously be the routine VAR checks, but from what I can see, it looks good. Gabriel Jesus with the goal. Oh, limbs. Oh, who said he can't finish? Me. Take a short corner. De Bruyne gets it back. Cancelo fakes the shoot, sends Werner, shoots on his left. It hits Jesus. He swivels, hits it on his right. I think there's a deflection off Rudiger, and it goes into the bottom corner. He's not offside because Jorginho's behind him. It takes the deflection off Jorginho, actually, not Rudiger, although he had about 3 men around them, so it was hard to tell who. But it nestles in that bottom corner. Edouard Mendy doesn't even attempt to save it because he knows he's not getting there with the deflection, and it is now 1-0. 1-0. We've actually gone ahead of this Chelsea team, which not many teams can do and have done this season. Chelsea undoubtedly now will start to pile a few more men forward and be a bit more, open as they are now chasing the game. They have relatively, they have nothing to lose really, because if they concede again, well, they might lose, but they're losing anyway. But as it stands, we've taken the lead. My striker, doubt him now. My inability to finish striker. Clinical, I tell you. Only if it was that clinical in the first half. If he scored, it would have been 2 up. Shocking. Jesus getting new beauty. I almost said Jesus. I will be in and out of the watch along. I'm in work. No problem, runners. There'll be a highlights if you ever want to catch me reacting to terrorism. The highlights are going to be 2 minutes long. There's nothing to react to. As Jesus brings down Jorginho. Crossing by Azpilicueta, away by Bernardo Silva. Kante picks it up. Rodri does well to recover it again. Cancelo just clears it. He scuffs it a bit off his right foot, clears it with his left. It goes out for a throw-in. We are here. We have arrived. Lift off. Second Premier League goal for Gabriel Jesus this season. Comes up when we need it most. Jesus is good in the big games. He's proved to be good in the big games. But Chelsea piling forward now with wing backs getting it higher, getting a few crosses in. I imagine we'll see Havertz at some point in the number 10 for a, change it up a little bit. Take off one of the midfielders that they've got on, because they will continue with the 5. Take off, like, I don't know, probably Kovacic, and bring on someone a bit more advanced so they can create a bit more. A little bit forward, so they're not just crossing it in, although it probably would work, because you know all about just crossing it in. This is where we get to substitution o'clock. You need to make your changes. As Azpilicueta is now flying high up that right-hand side, as is Alonso on the left. They've pushed their wing-backs higher up in an attempt to try and get more crosses in, which is obviously, they need to score. Werner in behind, and Edison claims. Quick off his line. I do need to check whether there was an assist. The shot was off Cancelo, but I doubt it'll go down as an assist. Oh no, it did. It did. João Cancelo assist. Odd, but don't really care. We're 1-0 up. That is all I care about. I don't care how it goes in, who scores it, if there's an assist or not. I don't care as long as we score. It's the main objective. Grealish. Ooh, just wide. Tries to bend it in that far corner. I think Mendy might have got a touch on that. He cuts inside, past Azpilicueta, who bites, shifts it just wide of the post. I think Mendy gets a touch, although it didn't really change the flight of the ball. I think he might get a touch. Is it a corner? I think it's a corner. Another corner. City are now into like double digits of corners. It's mental. Mental stuff. Away by Marcus Alonso, whipped in and straight away hit the first man, second man. Chelsea attempting to break, now piling players forwards, wing backs high. Lukaku and Werner already made their way up. Diaz with the block, because Lukaku squared it there. That was dangerous. But we managed to get it away. But Chelsea still have the ball here. Rudiger with a cross from the left. We sort of get it away. We're breaking now. De Bruyne and Foden 2-on-2. Rudiger bursting back, and we still got the ball. Yeah, Foden's miles off. And Mendy saves it anyway, because he tries to go around him, but he's miles off, and I think he knew he was off. He's miles off here, look. He's miles off. I don't know what he's doing there. He should be trying to get back on side. Maybe he should have pulled further out right. Pretty far off. Werner offside again. Shock horror, I know. You don't normally see him offside. But here comes Kai Havertz, the man who we've not given a career to because we're decent in Germany, but N'Golo Kante coming off for Kai Havertz. Bit puzzled that one myself, but someone had to make way out of him or Kovacic, and Kante is the one sacrificed. We have technically given him a Chelsea career because you speak bad about him as a City account on Twitter. He's got pictures of the Champions League final goal and the trophy. The fella scored about 3 goals last season. And he scored a hat-trick at one point. I don't think it was 3. He probably scored more, but you get my point. He didn't really do as well considering he's like 80 million. That's what I'm trying to get at. But again, he's another young player. He will more than likely come good at some stage. Dara said 0-0. Well, if I'm going to be honest, the goal was a bit lucky. It probably should still be 0-0. And if it was 0-0, then Chelsea wouldn't be piling this many men forward. Cancelo's taking it off of Grealish, but Grealish has been cropped. Jesus off the line. But off the line by Thiago Silva. If that's 2, that I wouldn't say game over yet, but close to being. It was almost 2. 2 would have been huge because Chelsea then really do have to pile people forward. Chelsea would probably be okay with a point from this position, knowing that they're ahead in the table. Obviously, the team wants a win, but 1 attempt for Chelsea so far, still with 0 on target. Had no more joy. That's a foul. I think City have now had 3 on target from having 0 in the first half, so we've now had some shots on target, which is nice to see. Chelsea plan A is dead now. It is. I mean, he's won the ball, but he's followed through like 3 seconds later. This is the break here. Grealish tries to take it past Christensen. He absolutely crops him, but Cancelo keeps going low cross. Mendy just gets a hand to it. Jesus on his left. Off the line by Thiago Silva. Shame. Really needed that second goal. Really needed it. Havertz is through. Lukaku scores. He's offside, I think. Hopefully. I think Havertz is offside. But Lukaku has put it in the back of the net. Oh, he's miles off. Havertz is miles offside. Yeah, disallowed. Shouldn't even need to draw the lines. He is miles off. No goal for Chelsea. That is a let-off. That is a big let-off. Again, this is what I said about Chelsea. They've had 1 shot. They've had 1 shot all game. You know, if that counts, that is shot number 2 and shot on target number 1, and they've scored. 1 chance they've scored. That is the danger here. This is really why we needed that second goal, because Chelsea can literally just get 1 chance, 1 goal like that instantly. The game flips on its head. So we really did need that that second goal, because, you know, we don't take our opportunities. So when we do get them, we need to take them. Chelsea fouling our players. Here comes Kyle Walker down the right, chasing Thiago Silva. He's done well there. Experienced defender. Chelsea do play sexy. Chelsea don't play sexy football. Chelsea play like terrorists, like prime moments terrorists. If they had a FIFA card. Chelsea do play sexy football sometimes. Not maybe when they're chasing a game sometimes. Foul by Laporte on the edge of the box on Lukaku. Stopped him spinning away. That's the first booking of the game. Now, this is dangerous because Marcos Alonso can take a free kick. So we will just have to watch and hope that nothing happens. But he can take a mean free kick, Marcos Alonso. Arguably giving him a career at Chelsea. The man can't play in a 4, he can only play in a 3, but he can whip a free kick. This is dangerous territory here because it's so close to the edge of the box. This could easily be 1-1 here. All the 4 players in the wall have the same Nike boots. It's weird. I'm not looking forward to this free kick. He's a good free kick taker. That's take it. Deflected off the wall and behind for a corner. That is another let off. He's one of the better free kick takers in the league, I must say. He has already scored one this season. I think it was against Palace. We do have to watch out giving those free kicks away on the edge of the box and the set pieces. Marcos Alonso can really cross a ball. We need to be careful. Corner for Chelsea, whipped in. Away. Haven't managed to get it fully away yet. Marcos Alonso down the right, crosses it in. Way over hit, and should be a City goal kick. Thiago Silva's down in the box. But I think Michael Oliver has given a goal kick. Guardiola has sent Fernandinho out to warm up. Probably the right decision. I'm not sure whether Marcos Alonso was actually offside there or not. I was doing something else at the time. But I'm assuming he wasn't. This has 1-1 written all over it, and that's what I predicted. Chelsea, the one chance they'll score. You saw it before when it was disallowed. It was their second chance in the game, and they scored. We need another one. Yeah, but against the smaller teams, they played decent, like Havertz and Mount behind Lukaku. No, they still play like terrorists. They played Zenit in the Champions League. Zenit, and had 2 shots. Or 2 shots on target. It doesn't matter if they're coming up against inferior teams. As here comes Jack Grealish. Forward and back post. Jesus, is he going to cut it back? Square it? What's he going to do? He tries to square it. Just doesn't quite get through. De Bruyne takes a shot and it's deflected for a corner. We really need to take another chance here. We're creating too much and we're wasting too much again. This definitely has 1-1 written all over it. Because we're creating some decent chances now and we're not taking them. This is going to come back to bite us in the arse. I can feel it. Fernandinho needs to come on there. We need something to. We need to change something here, and we need to take another one, or shore it up at the back, because Chelsea are too dangerous now. They're going for it more than they were. They're playing high and wide with the wing backs. They've brought on a 10. Headed back, Diaz headed away by Lukaku. Here comes Kovacic on the counter-attack. Werner and Havertz sprinting up. Kyle Walker does well, plays it back to Ederson. Then plays it to De Bruyne. We need to take a second chance here to just ease the nerves, because Chelsea keep breaking, and we've seen already, obviously it's been offside, but again, we have seen it in this game. They will take a chance if you give it them. If you give them a chance, even a sniff, they will take it. So we need to take this we need to get a second opportunity and take it. We've had multiple now in the second half. We've had multiple opportunities to score a second. We need to take one now. Or we need to either take one or stop being so, or stop throwing caution to the wind. Play a bit more cautious, try and keep the ball a bit better, a bit more, rather than piling forward. If we're not going to take a chance, we need to stop making them. That just exposes us at the back. I know we want to see free-flowing attacking football, but sometimes you've got to play and win ugly. And right now we're ahead, and we shouldn't be risking anything at all. And if we are going to risk it, we better show the risk has a reward. Because a risk can easily cause damage here. I know he's just scored, right? But I genuinely think about taking off Jesus. Take off Jesus, bring on a Mahrez who can control the game a bit more, bring on a Fernandinho as well. Who for? I don't know, but I would. could argue Foden, he struggled a little bit playing as the pretty much as the striker. Kovacic, great block by Diaz. Great block by Diaz. Another corner for Chelsea. This is the danger. A great block by Diaz, that. Great defending. Chelsea are proper going for this now. We need to be careful. 20 minutes. Proper going for it. We need to watch out. Crossed in away by Laporte. Azpilicueta goes all the way back to Edouard Mendy. Maybe the most tense 20 minutes of the season so far. Werner in over the top, another overhit pass, and Ederson will claim. Just 20 minutes left. Be a bit cautious. No stupid high risk passes unless it's genuinely on. Advantage played by Michael Oliver. Bernardo still has it. Issue is, we go down wide, there was no one to cross it into because it's Foden. Which is why Torres might not be a bad option if we're going to, switch up play and play a bit wider. Torres might be an option, although I see Sterling warming up down there and that has not given me a good feeling at all. Playing into the referee there a little bit. Chelsea, Jorginho mainly. Need to be careful not to pick up a booking. Kevin De Bruyne hits a cross into the crowd. That's a rare sight of him missing a cross, considering he is a cross merchant after all. Grealish with a tackle there on Jorginho. Hard but fair. Needed some of that. Just not to let them know you're there bit, but to, go in, win the ball, slow them down, slow the build up. Whether it's a foul or whether you, actually win the ball, or whether the ball goes out for Chelsea throwing or whatever, just, slow it down. Heavy touch by Kovacic, and Bernardo comes away with it now. And he doubles back and gives it to Rodri. Right, this is where we just need to find where the space is. Out wide to Grealish. Cancelo on the overlap. Gives it Cancelo. And cross too close to Mendy. Right, you cannot head down. Or maybe I should have done something different. You've got as soon as Mendy has it and the play stopped, head up, run back, get in position. As Laporte heads it back to Ederson and he claims it and out to Cancelo again. LeBron's had a lot of space in this game until he picks up the ball and then they're all around him. But there's been very minimal, press. He's been able to find space pretty easily in this game so far. He's picked up a lot of good pockets. I like what we're doing with the ball at the moment, kind of just shifting it down to one side, whether it be right or left, currently right. We've got 5 players in that sort of right-hand side. We've got Diaz, Bernardo, Walker, Rodri going over to the right side. And obviously, Jesus playing right wing and kind of just recycling the ball, going backwards, out wide, through the centre. Just keeping hold of the ball. Although Bernardo just Ronaldo just launches it. Here comes Ruben Loftus Bumcheek. Showing the replay of the goal. Takes a deflection. Mendy's just flat-footed. He knows he can't get there. But that's the break we needed. We needed a bit of luck. We needed a lucky goal, but off comes Jorginho. I'm a bit puzzled by Jorginho. UEFA Men's Player of the Year, by the way. Whether you think he deserved it or not, he still won it. I'm confused how he's come off, but again, it's another positive-minded change from Tuchel to bring on a more progressive midfielder in Ruben Loftus-Cheek, now leaving Kovacic as the sole sort of sitter in that midfield. So they're going for it even more, and I can imagine in 5 minutes, if they still haven't got anything, they could throw another curveball and maybe, but they've got Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi could come on at like a right wing back. Crossing away by Bernardo. Away by Laporte as it's back in by Kovacic. We try and break, and Bernardo is taken out by Marcus Alonso, and that is the first Chelsea yellow card. Bernardo doing a lot of defending today. He's made a lot of clearances and headers in the box, which for someone of his size is very unusual. It's a very welcome thing to have. As it's needed. He clears it there, otherwise Werner would have had pretty much a tap in, and he clears it again when it comes back in after Laporte gets on the end of it and kind of scuffs it a little bit. De Bruyne does well with a hold up, and he is being dragged back. He's literally being held from behind, like arms around the back, and dragged and being pulled away from the ball. Andreas Christensen with a booking as well now. Referee not being too shy with his cards anymore. Now starting to get into that area of the game where you will be booked for even making a foul, even if you have not done so before. Because we're in the dying stages of the game, it's now game management time. 15 minutes I reckon to play, with maybe 2, maybe even 3 minutes of injury time to play. So I reckon you're looking about 15 minutes. Kyle Walker's gone down after a little bit of afters from Kai Havertz, I think. Left one on him a little bit. Under-hit, hospital pass, under-hit from Jesus. And he just steps on the top of his foot, which we all know with the current stage of boots in football not having too much protection, as Noel Gallagher in with the Chelsea fans. But very little protection on the boots, so it does hurt a little bit. De Bruyne with a cross in. Laporte just wide, inches wide again. We need to take one of these chances. We need to take one. That's another golden opportunity. He is very much onside. At the back post, he gets a... if my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike, but on target's going in. Mendy isn't getting there. Rodri again with the tackle. He's done well today. Here comes Riyad Mahrez, which is a welcome sight to see. I would like to see Fernandinho, please, though. That'd be even more welcome. Grealish going down again. We need another foul. A little bit of afters with Aspilicueta. He's had that a bit today. Bit of Dave. Kovacic getting in the ear of Michael Oliver, and Mahrez is coming on for Kevin De Bruyne. Bit of protection there. No need to risk the game. You can pick out a pass, but at this current moment in time, we do not need it. But Riyad Mahrez has now come on for Kevin De Bruyne. And that should be a handball. It is. Jesus with another dodgy touch, and it deflects up onto his arm. And he's now, looks like he's through the middle. Gabriel Jesus, so who knows how that's going to go now. Stewards coming out the City away end. There is 10 of the regulation to play. Kyle Walker gets it away. It was squared in the box. Again, worrying signs. Bernardo gets it away again. What a guy. Bernardo has quite literally been pretty much everywhere today. Proves how invaluable he is to this team and how much we're going to miss him if he still wants to leave. We should try and do everything in our power to, try and keep him. If we can, of course. We might have no choice in the matter, because he might just want to leave. We should do everything we can to keep him while we've still got him. We've Gundogan seemingly on the decline, at least from last season anyway. We should definitely try and keep him. I think we do. There was kind of a chance there. Again, I'm doing other things. I'm a bit sidetracked at the moment, so I didn't see it. I just saw Edouard Mendy come out of his goal and claim something. Sam Lee tweeting, it was a huge save to deny Grealish, so I'm assuming it's a great chance, and I missed one. And not only did I miss it, but City missed it again. So I don't know how many times I need to say it. We need to stop risking it, or actually, stick one away. That'd be nice. Another foul. This time on Mahrez, slowing the game down. Another yellow card from Michael Oliver. Who to this time? Rudiger. Yeah, he just grabs him, and there's no hiding it. He just grabs him. Here's the chance again. Grealish has played through. He tries to lift it. Great save by Mendy. That not an easy chance to score, but Mendy does really well to save that. 2-0 at this stage. 2-0 at this stage would very much be game over. With no more than 10 minutes left to play, 2-0 at this stage would be game over. Obviously, stranger things have happened before, but you'd say the way the game's gone, pretty hard for Chelsea to come back in 10 minutes from a 2-goal deficit. Adam, statement win from City. If we get there, it is a huge statement. This Chelsea team have not lost yet in the league this season. Goal kick to Chelsea there. Good defending from Thiago Silva. Chelsea have not lost yet in the league. They are currently top, joint top with Liverpool. Same goal difference, same goal scored and conceded. So Liverpool are also doing very well. But should we get the win here, huge statement from our, maybe not disappointing, but it is a bit disappointing start with a loss and a draw early on. This early on when our rivals are all winning games. So, big statement. If we want to win this league, we need to gain points on our rivals, and what better way to do that than beating them and taking points off them as well as gaining. Fernandinho and Sterling to call. Sterling, fuck off. But yeah, it would be a statement should we get there. Chelsea now having 2 more attempts than they last had, but still 0 on target, but getting scarily close. I imagine it'll be 1 on target, 1 goal should they get it. Whereas City have had 4 on target and 15 shots. Scored 1 goal. It's typical City. 15 shots, 1 goal. But Fernandinho and Sterling coming on means that they are our last 2 subs, and Fernandinho I'm happy about. Sterling, no chance. Not a chance. If he scores, I'll hold my hands up. If he scores or gets an assist or something, I will hold my hands up and say fair play. But I have 0 confidence whatsoever of him doing anything like that. And honestly, can you blame me? No. But it looks like Foden is going to make way for Fernandinho. Probably the right decision. Foden, not a lot of minutes. Good to get him some more minutes here today. Defensive change, obviously, as we're winning game management. Extra body in the defence. And Jack Grealish off for Sterling. I am sad. Not only because Jack Grealish has been taken off, but he's been taken off for Raheem Sterling, of all people, which is, quite frankly, disrespectful. But, you know, what can we do? It's Pep. He decides the subs. One criticism that I've always had with Pep to date in his City career is substitutions are fucking awful sometimes. Sometimes he makes the right ones, but it's hard to always make the wrong ones unless you are just completely incompetent, which he's not. But another chance for Chelsea, crossing to Lukaku. I didn't see him go up for it, which is strange. But a crossing from Azpilicueta on his left foot is a great ball. Diaz does well to, win that wrestling match with Lukaku. And City should have a goal kick. Not looking forward to this final 5 minutes or so that we've got here. With Sterling on the pitch, it can all go horribly wrong. It shouldn't do because he's not a defensive player. So in theory, he shouldn't be a potential threat to us conceding, but he could just lose the ball out of nowhere or miss a chance and then go at the other end and score, and you go, well, why is he on the pitch? João Cancelo given the man of the match by BT. Not my personal man of the match. I have to be honest. Had a great game. Again, he's still not my man of the match. He wouldn't be my choice. Although sometimes BT do give it to an odd person. He's just not my man of the match. He's up there, but he's not my man. I could think of 2 players who were better than him today. Ederson punches and he's taken a hit from Havertz, come out and claimed it, and they're both down here. Ederson with some more brave goalkeeping. Is he wearing a mouth guard? I'm not surprised. He's crazy. Havertz easy to shrug off Cancelo. He wins the ball and just they come together. It's no one's fault. No foul, but Ederson's come and claimed it and he's been taken out by an onrushing Havertz, who's also taken a hit from Ederson. It was a 50-50. Shame about the outcome, but hopefully they're both fine. Bernardo, my man in the match, I think. For me, it's Bernardo or Rodri. Rodri's been great today. I have to say, Rodri's been great. I can't imagine what we would have been like without him. 4 minutes of injury time, a bit more than I thought, but there is currently an ongoing injury I think Chelsea are trying to get a penalty here. It's not a penalty. If it's a penalty, then it's a shambles. Aston Villa have just taken the lead over Manchester United, by the way, as I speak. Just as a bit of news. The goal, however, does come from Cancelo deciding to take a shot and take a pop. Courtney House with a goal to put Aston Villa 1-0 up against Man United. There's still time in that game though, so Ronaldo could. But we've already done almost a minute of the injury time, which will be added on because they're still treating Kai Havertz, and about Edison because the cameras aren't on him. But Edison is up and fine. Havertz is up and looks for the most part fine. Should just be a drop ball and Edison will just boot it or play out from the back. Either one. If City win and United lose, I'm on the way. At the start of this game, I would have suggested being on the beer if we just didn't get battered. But right now, hopefully we are in a winning position. Hopefully we can get the win. Again, we've played 1.5 minutes into the 4, but they will probably be added on because it was treatment 4. But, you know, Villa with the lead as well. Time for both games to change. Obviously, where there's, 30 seconds are still away for a game to change. If we win here today, there's absolutely no reason to go and do it in Anfield too. I would have said even if we would have drawn here, there was no reason why we couldn't have done it at Anfield. There's no reason why we can't do it anywhere on our day, any place in the world. It's just, are we on our day, and are the other team having an off day? Now, the fine margins of how well a team's performing. Chelsea have played well defensively today. Bodies on the line. We should arguably be more clear in this game. But again, we've wasted a few, and Chelsea have just defended really, really well. This is the game plan. We need the win desperately. We need the win. If we're going to catch up to this Chelsea team after falling behind early on in terms of points, we need something. We need something. That's pretty quick. I went down holding his chest, even though he just fell a bit awkwardly. Fucking hell, this isn't it? Yeah, it is very, very nervy. With any player from Chelsea going down in the box at any given opportunity, there's a cause for concern here. With VAR lurking, waiting in the wings. Weird to see Christensen on this free kick. You'd think he would have gone forward, but he's just going to launch it into maybe a dangerous area. Rudiger headed on as Piliqueta, and Edison. He almost kicked it out there. He almost failed to control it, but gives it to Sterling, who can now run down the left. But no, he decides to cut back and not use his pace. Sterling asking for the ball in behind from Bernardo, despite being offside, and clearly offside. Useless, man. I don't care that we're winning. The guy's just... He's off. Slicing challenge from Diaz there. Referee waste play, only going nowhere near the ball. It's definitely a yellow card. Yeah, Sterling's... He's given the free kick. Yeah, no card though. Sterling's calling for the ball in behind from Bernardo, and he's miles offside. Ederson claims, and he falls on it. We have played an extra minute, almost minute and a half, and there's only 4 minutes, and we wasted a minute and a half with an injury, so the referee should just blow up after this. No, in fact, Diaz did get a yellow card in the end. There's a bar of chocolate on the field. Hey up. Was that a bar of chocolate or was that a boot? I saw purple and thought Cadbury's. Maybe because I got loads of chocolate behind me. I hope I'm not just tripping, but the camera showed something on the pitch. I think it's been thrown on. Full time, we have beaten Chelsea. We have beaten the so-called unbeatable team, as they were being referred to on Twitter, which I was shitting myself. Honestly, I predicted a 1-1 draw in the preview. I don't think, many people would have seen it because it went out so late. But I was like, yeah, I'll take a 1-1. I think most people would have taken a 1-1. But my God, that was one of the toughest watches. Toughest games of football I think I've ever watched. Oh my Christ. I don't want to do that again this season. But we've got to play him again. Big win for City. 3-horse race for the title now, surely. You would think so with this win with Chelsea, With us beating Chelsea, that just proves that we can beat these teams that are in the title race. We can win the big games. We still can. Regardless of whether we lack a striker or not, we still can do it. Big win, statement win. Great stream. Thanks, you. Not sure you'll be around. Do a review. If not, I'll take it. But big 3 points. We needed the 3 points. Crucial that we just didn't lose any more ground. City with a 1.7 XG. Probably should have scored again. Chelsea with a 0.22. Terrorism FC. Game plan almost worked, but it didn't. It's a great win. Great win. I'll do a review. Right, no bother. Oh my God. I don't want to do that again this season. I don't want to, but we're going to have to. PSG coming up midweek. If we can beat Chelsea, we can beat them. If we can beat Chelsea, we can beat anyone. If we can beat the 8-man wall that is Chelsea, we can beat anyone. We've just proved it. And United lost as well, so, made it all the more sweeter, the fact that big old Manchester United with Ronaldo and McFred lost. Oh, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, the stream. At the same time, I didn't. I hated it. But it's done. 3 points. The game's over. We don't have to go to the bridge unless we somehow draw them in a cup or Champions League quarter-final or something. But we shouldn't have to come back to the bridge. Thank God for that. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I would have taken a draw. We got the 3 points. I do not care. Quick turnaround, obviously, with like I said, PSG, Liverpool. All away games, so we're in for an absolute stinker of the next week. But then that moves us up to second place. We leapfrog Chelsea. Both on 13 points now. But us with a plus 11 and Chelsea with a plus 10 in goal difference. So second in goal difference, joint. 3 teams now at the top, with Man United losing. 3 teams on 13 points, although one of those is yet to play. Liverpool still have to play their game, so they could go clear on points. As long as they don't lose. Also, Bruno Fernandes missed a penalty, apparently. So, City win, United lose. Come on, the boys. I'm going to end the stream here. I've got nothing else to say. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.